Tonight we are making Louisiana empanadas. We have some meat sauce that we're also going to either serve with and make dirty rice with, or you can put it on some egg noodles. I happen to have some from last night, so thought I would use them on top with the meat sauce on top. And here are the Louisiana empanadas with avocado cream sauce. That's what I happen to have some avocados, so I made some cream. I have a half a stick of butter, and I start to brown 1 pound of ground beef. And I just get it almost brown and add, if you want to, some people are not into pork, but you could add some sweet Italian sausage or about a half a pound of sausage and just brown that. So cut up some Italian parsley, onions, about a half an onion, Sereno peppers. I happen to have some on hand. Make sure that you do not use the middle of it or the seeds, or it will be too hot. You could use jalapeños, but I use about 2, and I take the insides out. You do not want those seeds in there. It will be too hot for you. So cut that up. Also some green onions, about 2 or 3 of those, and chop them up. Everything but the bagel seasoning. And I'll also use some Tony's, Sacheries, Cajun Creole in there. This is what brings some heat, guys. You're going to have to make it sweet in a little bit just to cut that heat, but it is going to be so good. You want the heat. Then we have a little bit of chili red pepper flakes, some salt to taste, as well as some pepper. Just fry all that up. Make it so good. So good. All right, this is about medium. Here's some pepper here, black pepper. Now, I've already kind of showed some of my vegetables in there, but the next clip will show me putting in the vegetables. I just make that hollow well in between the red meat. So going backwards a little bit here, but make a hollow and just soften those vegetables in the middle of that meat. And it's totally fine to do it that way. It's easier. I don't have to change pans. It makes it so much easier for me to do it this way. I love it. A couple of big helpings of garlic. The more the merrier. So good. Then I separate the meat from all of the fat, and I let it cool just a tiny bit, and then I take a paper towel and I just get all of that fat out of that meat and just drain it a little bit, maybe dab it a little bit. Then I add a half a cup of brown sugar, because you know we got some heat in there. We got to cut that heat with some sweet and blue agave, or you can use honey, and I would say about 1/4 of a cup, or maybe like 4 tablespoons or so. And then you want to caramelize that sweet sugar and agave or honey on medium-high. I added a little bit more in there just because it was pretty hot with the Sereno peppers instead of the jalapenos. And then you just caramelize that meat. Next, you're going to get Pillsbury pie crust. And I have a biscuit cutter. You can use a wider circle if you want for bigger empanadas. I like small empanadas. And the way I'm doing it here with this biscuit cutter, I get about 8 per little flat pie. And I'll get maybe 16 total per box. Then I make sure you dab your fingers in some wet water. And then you want to like circle the pasta, or the pie crust with some water to dab inside and out. Otherwise, it's just not going to stick together because it'll be too dry. So make sure you just use plain water, and you just kind of rub the outside of the circle and the inside of the circle, and then you kind of use water to close those together, and that is the secret to getting these to shut. Then I have a fork to kind of make those little teeth marks, and I have 1 egg and a little bit of water, and I just make an egg wash both sides of the empanadas. On 425, I bake those for about 15 to 20 minutes, just until they turn brown. Oh, they're beautiful and they're so good. Okay, here's a little sauce I decided to make. I usually don't do this, but you know, it's got cilantro, an avocado, about 1/4 of a cup of sour cream, 2 limes, and I felt like after I tasted it, I felt like it just needed more kick. So I added everything but the bagel seasoning along with some Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. It needed a kick because it was just too creamy. And I would put 2 avocados in there, but I only had 1 that was ripe enough. And then I put a little bit of agave nectar just because I felt like that flavor would pass over really well. And then I blended it really well in that chopper. Just mixed it good. Okay, here's the finished product, guys. This meat, oh, it was so good with these empanadas. They're bite-sized. The kids will love them. My husband said this was one of the best he had had. Oh, so good. Enjoy.